Oh, video production class. Man, I miss you guys. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're making some awesome videos. One thing I've learned in this time is that you got to do what you love, right? One of the things I love to do is I love to make video, right? I love to edit video. I love to get into it and make things awesome. I love making things funny and high pace and stuff, high energy. Hopefully one of the things that you find as kind of something to break the monotony, right? To break the over and over spell of just things are so boring and how do I get through this? Hopefully you find photography and video one of those things that really gets you through this. Hopefully you've seen in my YouTube videos, if you're not yet, you could subscribe. And on the Canvas page, it's a little further down now. I should probably bump it back up to the top because I've posted new things. But on that Canvas page, there is a set of videos that I've posted there of just kind of my daily things that I've been doing. You know, it's kind of all over the place. But this last one, I've actually got it right here. Let's go into our Canvas page. But that is not our Canvas page. That is our Canvas page. Right? It says, hey, video production class, I'm really missing you. You're powerful, smart, hard workers, and I miss your energy. Every single one of you that contributed so much to that still contribute to the energy of our class. You may have noticed that I'm going very light on the rigor of what I'm requiring of you. This is because, number one, Maslow's hierarchy of needs tells me that you have bigger fish to fry, like ensuring your own safety and not running out of toilet paper. The second thing, your class might be laying it on heavy, your other classes might be laying it on heavy, so I wanted to ease off so as to not stress you out. Man, that's true. And the third thing, the reason I'm laying on pretty lightly right now is what we do in this class is very hands-on. It's very, like, the projects are more than just daily hand-ins. I would much rather have you guys do kind of big overarching projects, or overarching projects, whether they're big or not, instead of little tiny hand-ins, here and there every day, because then that would drive you absolutely bonkers. So instead, I've opted to have these smaller projects that are, over the course of, say, a week or 2 weeks, so that you're not like super overwhelmed with what I'm having you do, because I know you're overwhelmed with a bunch of other things. But at the same time, that also means you got to do the projects. It kind of broke my heart to put in the midterms, not just for your class, but really for all the classes. Some of the grades that I put in, I failed a lot of kids because they just maybe haven't done work in the fourth quarter yet. And maybe the midterm will bite them in the butt. I don't know, but you got to come around and actually do the work, not procrastinate this. Now, I've got a couple of ideas for you to overcome that. And I've talked about that before. It's the very first video in that playlist of mine. Number one, right? Don't let the anxiety get to you. Number two, keep to a routine, right? Stick to a routine each day. And it's not just, I wake up late and play video games all day. That's not a routine, okay? I wake up same time every morning. I still set my alarms and I get up to them. I still shower. Instead of walking to work, I walk the dog. I keep to my routine and I go throughout my day. Not pretending that everything's just back to normal and everything's fine, everything's crazy around us, but at least a little bit of that normalcy really goes a long way. The third thing is, please break your routine every once in a while, right? Be willing to, just kind of see something completely different, right? And, sort of take yourself by surprise, right? Do something that breaks the mundane over and over kind of stuff. And then the fourth thing is keep your social connections. Don't let social distancing limit your social connections. You can still talk to people, over text, calling, social media, right? Don't isolate yourself into a cave and then, for 2 weeks or 2 months, you never hear from people, right? I want you to, I want everyone to be just fine after all this. And, maintaining your sanity during is one of the big things that's going to get us through this, okay? I did want to talk to you about a couple of things just real quick. I'm not going to take too much of your time, but, video production, here it is. What I was going to tell you about that is, even though there's not much to do for this class, that doesn't mean don't do anything at all. In fact, because I'm not asking much, each grade matters much more. Handing in a single project could make the difference between passing and failing at this point, right? From here to the end of the year, I'm not going to ask you to do a ton more, right? We have this mini documentary, and part one of it was just simply giving me the idea. Let me know what your idea was that you're going to pursue for your mini doc. And then part two of that is actually executing your mini documentary. Actually film it, actually get your interview, get your B-roll. Even if that's just around your house, make that a reality. And then I'm probably gonna have you do like one more thing, but that's it. Like, I feel like the things that are in the curriculum, I've hit already throughout the course of this year, and now I'm just kind of making sure that you know how to do those things. So you're really just like exhibiting proficiency to me, and we're not gonna, I'm not gonna like hold it over your head to do like 100 different assignments over and over. There's no reason for that, right? So instead, I'm opting for less work that shows me proficiency, but you have to actually do it, right? And I'm concerned about some people that just haven't done a whole lot, right? Anyway, and if you haven't handed in that first one, the Go Viral, that was so easy, you guys, seriously. And not to flex, but I am winning. I think I checked, last time I checked, it was 1,300, just over. It may be even more than that. We'll have to see. And, the two-part mini documentary. Let's go into that second part, right? The mini doc. Take the idea that you wrote about, and by the way, maybe I'll talk about that one first. The first part of this, part one, you can go to it, scroll right to the bottom, and I will tell, all I'm looking for is just a text box, not a lot, right? I want four different things. I want to know what your topic is. I want to know like how you're going to land an interview, who can you interview, even if it's just somebody at your house or somebody over Skype or a Zoom call or something that you record. And then where you're going to get your B-roll, right? It's really simple things that you're just going to type out. And even if it's not something you're going to go with in the end, at least show me that you're kind of thinking of, oh, and the other thing is where are you going to get your resources from, right? What information source are you going to go to get factual information about what you're going to cover? And honestly, if it's just the interview with B-roll on top, that would be beautiful. I would love to see that. A lot of documentaries are that. But if you end up wanting to put in some factual information, you're going to want some good resources, right? So even if you don't include it in the video, do some backing research too. So part two is the filming and editing, right? Take the idea that you wrote out and start the production process on it. Get interviews from those people or that single person. Of course, you have to practice social distancing, right? It could be just someone over Skype or over a video call or a Zoom call or something. And film B-roll that captures details and contributes to the story, right? In your B-roll, show me the macro picture and the micro picture, right? Look outward at the situation, okay, the big details, but then also zoom into those close details too, and actually like maybe physically zoom into it. Show me kind of the outward design of the whole, like the big abstract concept, but then also show some details, right? And maybe even details that don't necessarily 100% contribute to the story, but just kind of like to put us in that space. For example, one of the common things to do, especially recently in many docs, is to include like hands, right? What are they doing with their hands as they talk? Is it in their what do they have going on with their hands? And I've found that is a big part of many documentaries now. Just those detail shots. And as I say here in the Canvas assignment, get way more B-roll than you think. You can never have too much B-roll. Really, honestly, you can never have too much B-roll. Get way more than you think. Detail shots, things that contribute to the story, things that get us into the story, right? Get us into the interview. Edit the footage together in a documentary style. This is the documentary style. The interview footage goes on the first track, V1. We call that the A-roll, but we usually don't call it the A-roll. All you hear about is B-roll, right? So the interview goes on the first track. Above that go the detail shots, those story shots, we call that B-roll, right? A-roll, B-roll. And that goes on V2, the higher track. Now, like I was saying, use that B-roll to sort of like get us into the scene. Think of it as establishing shots to establish that story. What you're going to do with those shots, there's a couple reasons you get B-roll. Number one, it's a lot more interesting than just staring at a talking head. But also, it's sort of on a technical level, it allows you to hide your cuts too. To make your story seem very smooth, and it's not just like a jarring cut from one thing to the next. One piece of an answer to the next piece of an answer. If you have one and then the other and then a piece of B-roll on top, you don't notice the cut because you see B-roll and then it just boom, boom, it goes from one to the next and it kind of hides your cuts. So that's a great way to use B-roll to your advantage. Also, B-roll doesn't just have to be like during the scene. It could be, or during the interview. It could be like before the interview, or maybe you hear the interview and you see a bunch of B-roll, and then once they make their first major point, then it cuts to the actual shot of the interview, and then we see B-roll on top again, B-roll on top again. You're basically just trying to say a concise story, right? It doesn't have to be this groundbreaking major documentary kind of thing. It could just be like your view of things, or what's going on in that part of the world, or, right? It's just kind of you're enlightening one topic that you're trying to get out there. And it could be small. It just could be, how the pandemic stuff is affecting poverty in your neighborhood. How people do DoorDash more and aren't going to restaurants anymore. How is that affecting the restaurant industry? Get an interview from a former restaurant owner, or, whatever. Like, look within your sphere of influence. I know you have somebody that's got a story that needs to be told. And that's essentially what you're doing in this mini documentary. You're uncovering a voice, right? Stay concise. You don't need to include everything that your interview subject said. Oh my gosh, is that true? Please don't include the entire half hour of every word that they said. But also don't cut it up so it seems like you're chopping up their words and trying to make it something it's not. Just use those pieces of the interview that really contribute to the story you're trying to tell, right? And if that's not every single word, good, right? We don't want to just say every single word that they said. Just the parts that contribute to the story you're trying to tell. Wow, it's like I wrote this or something. There's not a time minimum or time maximum. Mini documentaries tend to be right around 5 minutes, okay? 5 to 10 minutes. You will probably get a whole lot more interview footage than that, so be willing to cut out a whole lot and just keep those strongest answers that add to the story, okay? Be willing to, even though they kind of went on a tangent about this and that, no, you don't want the tangent. You don't want the branch that goes this way. You just want whatever that story was that they were saying. That's the part that you want as your mini documentary. You're also going to upload your final documentary to your YouTube channel and then give me the link, just like we always have done. You give me your published work. I've noticed, I've gotten actually a couple of questions when people upload videos. They go, well, I hit publish, but I don't see my video. Well, where is it? YouTube has implemented this new uploading system. Maybe you never saw the old one, but the new one looks very different. It's this like separate window that comes up, and you type in, your title and your description, and some of the things that we used to put in all the time, like tags, for example. You used to put tags in like religiously. Now they're kind of downplaying tags, I've noticed. I still put tags in because I feel like it helps with the search engine optimization, the SEO. Instead of just searching for whatever's in the title, you could search for kind of little spin-off things, and that could also make your video come up. It's very important to put that SEO in. So there's places for tags and stuff. You put a thumbnail in, but then you have to like go next, and then you're at a final place and it says, when do you want to publish this? You can make it unlisted or private or public, but let's schedule it for another time. It's like, come on, just publish my video. So you have to hit public and then hit publish. It's weird, I know. It doesn't make any sense. It used to just be right when you put the video up, you click public, and as soon as it's published, it's up, it's ready to go. So right now you just have to say, yes, make this public, and then publish. And right in that upload screen, it even says on the right-hand side, your video will be available at, and then here's this, this URL. Copy that URL and put it right into your YouTube feed, and give me the link on Canvas. Anyway, that's basically all I wanted to tell you. I did also want to show you this. My videos, actually some of my videos have gotten quite a few views, so I'm kind of surprised by that. It's kind of fun. The most recent one that I put up was all of my kids and me getting a haircut. I left this as the thumbnail because it just accentuates how ridiculously pointy my nose is right there. Like, that's almost exactly a right angle right there. So here's the most recent one. We got a new computer lab. I don't know if you knew that or saw this video already, but we did get a new computer lab. And yeah, so if you did have some things, I'm grateful for those of you that did come in to get a backup copy of all your stuff, because guess what? It's gone. Those computers are tucked away now, and the new ones are up, but they don't have Adobe on them. They don't even have, like, they're totally not ready. Anyway, have a good laugh at some of these. Some of these are live streams that I did, right? I'm in the corner of that little picture of me playing Super Mario Maker 2, of playing Mario Kart Wii. This one right here, the extended Titans Elevated Teachers video. I think it has just over 1,300 views right now. The students video got even more than that, though. Yeah, I lost track of days too. You might have noticed that. Right about Easter time, I was just like, what day is it? Whatever, I'll just keep posting. So I post new videos. By the way, watch this video. I put an intro at the beginning, and I'd love to know if you enjoy having an intro on the beginning of my videos, or if that's just like, Miller, what are you doing? Tell me if you like it. I got a comment saying that they liked it a lot from one of my old students. But yeah, if you're enjoying the content that I keep creating, let me know. And if you want to see something in a video, like, I don't know, random, I've already done a lot of random things, but I won't do dangerous challenges or stupid TikTok things, but I'll certainly make videos that you'll enjoy. You guys are awesome. I miss you. And I hope you get some work done. I hope you dedicate your time correctly, right? I'm not just saying, oh yeah, you got to get my work done. No. You just get work done in general. I live my life, sticky note to sticky note. Just, what do I need to get done? Check, check, check. Crumple up the sticky note, it's gone. I just wrote everything I needed to do this morning up on a board. And as I finish them throughout the day, I cross them off. I erase them, and I'm getting things done, right? Because I have purpose. I have a drive. Instead of just like wishy-washing through the day, I have some direction of where I want to take my day. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. I miss you guys. Get some work done, make some awesome videos, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.